Welcome into another edition of Bulldogs Live, catching up. I guess this time we could call it the introduction series. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, Reed Duffy. So pleased to be joined for a special lunch edition of the show with new Bulldogs forward 2020 second round draft pick, first pick in the second round, Jonathan Malee. Jonathan, thank you so much for your time today.
No, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, we've got the comment section open. I'm sure a lot of fans will be interested to welcome you into Hamilton as well, so get your comments in. And, of course, I'm decked out today, hat, sweater. I've got the jerseys behind me, bulldogshop.com. Christmas is coming up soon, so make sure you get your orders in and get those shipped in plenty of time. Of course, a year unlike any other. And, Jonathan, that brings sort of us to what is going on. And how have you been in an off-season unlike any other?
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a lot of switching around and continuing to go to the gym every day to get better, bigger and stronger on the ice every day now. Just getting ready for the season.
And what a season it's going to be with the Hamilton, and a lot of excitement building up for it. But what was it like on draft day when the 21st pick in the draft comes up and the Bulldogs actually called a timeout on that pick? And then the name comes up, Jonathan Malee, 21st overall to the Hamilton Bulldogs. What was the feeling?
It was unreal. Just seeing my name pop up. Actually, when they called the timeout, it felt like an hour's worth with that 5 minutes. I was just waiting, and I saw the name, and it was just a big sign of relief. I was so happy.
Now, when you got picked, did you hear immediately from Steve Staios and Ian Mahar in the group, and what did they tell you when you did get a chance to talk to them?
Yeah, Steve called me right after, like 2 minutes later after my name popped up on the screen, just saying welcome, and he's happy to have me. And he had a busy day, so we didn't talk too much. So it was just a quick 2-minute call, and that was it.
We all did. I was doing the social media side for the draft, so I was punching all the names and the graphics. If we had back-to-back picks, it was a cold sweat trying to get everything up and going. What do you know about Steve Staios? I mean, you're coming to an organization with the president and general manager who played 1,001 in the NHL. He's got the silver stick. He represented Canada. He went to the Stanley Cup Finals. He played for a number of legendary teams. I mean, at one point, Ray Bourque's defense partner. I don't think it gets a whole lot better than that. But what did you know about Steve Staios when you got picked by the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, after I realized that Bulldogs could be drafting me, I did some research and I saw Steve. He played a lot of games, played with some fantastic players. And just after I saw my name pop up on the screen, I was like, wow, I'm going to play for a guy that played over 1,000 games in the show and with amazing hockey players that I've looked up to.
Absolutely. It's still somewhat surreal. I've mentioned numerous times, I'm from Hamilton, grew up in Hamilton watching Steve Staios play, and to work in the same organization as him, every once in a while, I still kind of sit there and go, wow, this is the same guy that I saw skating for the Bruins and the Oilers and that, and it's still every once in a while catches up to you that, wow, this is pretty cool. We talked to Jordan Donovan a couple of weeks ago. You guys played in that same Ottawa U18 loop, so a little bit different. So a lot of fans around the Hamilton area will know minor midget in terms of the Hamilton Huskies or the Hamilton Junior Bulldogs, the GTHL, OMHA. But what they don't know a lot of is that under 18 loop in Ottawa. Can you just talk to us about what it's like playing in that loop? Because it's a little bit different than what fans here might be used to.
Yeah, so instead of playing in a minor midget year, we have a draft. So you get drafted to the junior A teams for the CCHL, and you'll play for their U18 team. So basically, you're playing against guys up to 18 years old. So it's just playing against older, stronger, bigger guys, getting you ready for the next step.
And how much is it going to help experience playing against older, stronger, bigger players for your adjustment to the OHL?
Yeah, I think it'll help a lot. Just having the confidence to go into the corners against the bigger guys, having already done that the whole season, I think I'll just be ready to go.
Now, again, Dr. Jordan, the cool thing about that U18 loop that you guys planned and that draft with the CCHL is you guys get an experience in a junior A loop in the Ottawa area with the CCHL, yourself with the Rockland Nationals. What are you able to take from that experience playing at the junior A level already as a 15, 16-year-old?
Yeah, well, they called me up for 3 games. I got an assist in one of those games. It helped me realize how fast the game actually is, and even how fast the next step would be above junior A. It made me realize the work I need to put in to up my speed and up my strength, and just to get ready for the OHL.
Well, I want to welcome you, and no question, one of the most beloved Bulldogs in team history, Will Bitton. Take care of this guy for me, Reader. And Jonathan, I'm going to let you kind of talk about your relationship. We've talked about this before we went on air, but with Will Bitton, who absolutely, remember the 2018 OHL champions? I mean, one of the most beloved Bulldogs in history, and you know him personally.
Yeah, Will's a great guy. I go to the gym with him every day. I've been on the ice with him every Tuesday, Thursday during the summer. And it's just great to have someone who's already played in Hamilton give me all the ups that are in Hamilton. Just get me ready for that.
Oh, absolutely. A better guy to get you going than Will Bitton. Made it no secret in the past, you and I get along very, very well, and we missed him here. And we're glad that you're sort of under the wing of Will Bitton. That's the perfect guy to get you going. And we know Will Bitton was a forward that had an engine that never stopped when he was a Bulldog. Lightning speed, worked hard. What kind of player can Bulldogs fans expect out of Jonathan Malik?
Yeah, I think I'm close to the same kind of player. I'm always go, go, go. I'm always in the corners battling. I play 2 ways, take care of the defensive zone, then go make a play in the offensive zone.
Okay, another good. We are all in for that. That sounds fantastic. Now, one of the cool things about getting you in the draft was that the Bulldogs also got Jorian Donovan with the 6th overall pick. Coming to the team together, how is that going to help both of you adjust to the Ontario Hockey League?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Jorian for almost my whole life, so going to an OHL team with someone that I know like that, it'll just help me transition, and I won't be as nervous as I would be going into a team where I don't know any of the guys. So going with him would just help me open up more with the other guys to get to know them all and just get ready to go.
I don't think you'll have a problem with that. It is a very tight group. They get people to open up pretty darn quickly. But when you look at that and coming to a team with somebody that you already know and somebody like Jorian, who, like we talked about with Steve Staios, Nathan is on the team as well, the son of a former NHLer. Jorian is the same thing. His dad played a long time in the National Hockey League, of course, Sean Donovan. Have you sort of been able, as a forward, to take some things from Sean Donovan himself that you can put into your game? I mean, that's got to be a pretty good resource to have there when your friend's dad played in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, definitely. I've known Jorian for a long time, so obviously I've known Sean. Sean's always helped me with a lot of things about my game. He's given me tips and tricks about certain things. And yeah, it's just great to have him in my corner.
The development of the Ottawa Senators. So if you're wondering what Sean Donovan can do to help out young players, look no further than Eric Brandstrom, Colin White, Thomas Chabot. The list goes on and on, that Senators group. And I'm sure, Jonathan, you're well familiar with them. They are a team that is not just on the rise. It might be a meteoric rise in Ottawa. A lot of good young players in that area right now.
Yeah, it's great. We're especially in Ottawa with all the young guys. A lot more guys are getting drafted to the OHL. A lot more guys are going to the NHL from Ottawa. So it's great to see that our area is getting a lot more guys going up to the higher levels.
Good afternoon, guys. Jonathan, I'm excited to see you on the ice in the Bulldogs jersey. Aaron, we all are. Also, who were your favorite players growing up? That's a great question. That's one that we love to get from Bulldogs players. Who are your favorite players growing up, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm a big Chicago Blackhawks fan, so I've always watched Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, and they're my two favorite players.
Fantastic. So from the Ottawa area, but a Blackhawks fan. That's an interesting one. I like that. Mackenzie Entwistle, also another tie-in, former Bulldogs captain now in the Chicago organization. Probably just a matter of time until he's a regular in that lineup. We talked with Jorian, and he asked you, when we asked him about you, he said what a great talent you are with a ton of speed and skill that plays the game the right way, and that you're going to be great in the Ontario Hockey League. Let's go the other way. Let's get Jonathan Malee's assessment of Jorian Donovan as a player.
Yeah, Donovan's a great defensive player. He just doesn't let you get by him in the defensive zone. Quick transition, and he'll make a play in the offensive zone. Big offensive guy. I love it.
Very good. Always great to have guys that are excited to be in Hamilton together. All right, we're just approaching the midway point, so we've got something coming to you from the CHL for the CHL app. Let's take a quick look at that, and then Jonathan and I will be right back to you. $60 teams, one app, the CHL app, and you can get it specialized for the Hamilton Bulldogs. It is new and improved. You can download it on the App Store, and you will have access to trivia contests, updates, and prizes that no one else is eligible for unless you have that app. So make sure that you get that downloaded on your phone as we scream towards the opening of the OHL season. I know we're all excited to finally be back to the ice, and I know that our guest, Jonathan Malee, is excited as well. Jonathan, you're going to have some time to get set for this season. You mentioned off air that you're going to play some time with the Rockland Nationals in the CCHL. That's got to be helpful for you. Gives you a bit of a ramp way to build up to the season, and plus doing it at home. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to have the rink 5 minutes from home, just be able to go do some tough practices and play games on the weekends, to just play some games, get ready for the season to start.
And of course, the Nationals Bulldogs fans will probably be very familiar with the name because goaltender Zachary Roy, formerly of the Rockland Nationals. Do you know Zach at all? Have you met him, or have you just heard about and seen sort of what he can do? A very acrobatic goaltender. Yeah,
no, we haven't met yet, but I've watched a few YouTube videos of a lot of the games that the Bulldogs have played. He's a great goalie for what I've seen, and I'm excited to get to know him.
You know, you're right. Tim Thomas, where he just explodes across the crease, and he will throw anything he can at the puck. His head, his pads, his stick. Just if he can get to the puck, he's going to find it. He's a very exciting goaltender to watch, that's for sure. Have you talked to many of your new Bulldog teammates so far?
Yeah, I mean, on draft day, a few of them reached out saying congratulations and all that. And then a few of the guys that are also in high school, we have a little group chat and we talk in that just to help each other out. So we're getting to know everybody.
I mean, you look at this. There's been a lot of talk about the Hamilton Bulldogs after the 2018 championship and how you could immediately see that build up again towards another competing team. You look at the depth that you're coming into, Jonathan, and Arthur Kaliev and Jan Mishak, two of the best players in the Ontario Hockey League, are going to be on that top line alongside Tag Bertuzzi, who really had his breakout last year. Logan Morrison and Avery Hayes, tremendous talents. You've got Liam Van Loon there, Navrin Mutter, one of the most feared players in the league. Ryan Winterton, Lawson Shirk, two rookies from last year, just excellent players. Ryan Humphrey found his groove. I mean, I could go on and on all day. How exciting is it as a young forward to be able to have an opportunity to play in that group, but also learn from that group?
Yeah, it's unreal to be going into a team with that many amazing players coming up, and just to have those guys to teach me new tips and tricks and to get me ready for the next level. I'm excited.
Joe Landry, Jake Gravel, defenseman. So I wasn't listening. We'll be here all day if I go into the defensive group. But obviously, shout out to Jake Gravel, He'll be the Bulldogs' overage leader this season on the back end, really strong defender. You look at that leadership group too, Jonathan. I mean, we talk about Jake Gravel. Colton Kammerer comes across. Nate Steos is here. Arthur Kaliev has stepped up as a leader. I mean, again, I could go on all day, but clearly the leadership group is there and in place with this team.
Yeah, it's great to see that we have a good leadership group, and I'm not nervous at all to get into the group of guys. So I'm excited.
Awesome. How are you preparing for training camp? Obviously, you're going to spend some time in the CCHL, but is it just a lot of gym work and trying to get the reps in to get set for camp?
Yeah, well, I'm in the gym every day working on things I've wanted to improve during the summer, and I've had a lot of time to do that with this COVID pandemic. So just working out every day and going on the ice every day just to get everything better.
When you look at your game, and as you're building up towards training camp, what do you have to do to be more successful and to be successful at the OHL level? What do you need to improve in your game?
Yeah, I this summer I've been working a lot on my speed and my agility, just to move laterally and the head fakes and to get everything going to get into the offensive zone, entry zones. Um, and a big thing was strength, building my strength to battle in the corners against the bigger guys. So I've just also really it's all aspects of my game, just working on everything I can, especially with the extra time that we have before the season starts. So just working on absolutely everything I can.
I mean, up is man, and we talked about it right off the top. An offseason unlike any other. We've never lived through anything like this, and seeing how it's affected not just sports but everything overall. Has the negative almost been kind of a positive in that you can twist it that okay, we can't be on the ice and playing games right now, but it gives a longer time for somebody in your position, Jonathan, to be able to build up, to be able to work on things and be the best version of themselves come training camp time?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a way. I think that's the way a lot of people are looking at it. Instead of having a negative mindset, saying, "Oh, we're not playing games," all that. Just take that time to make yourself better to play better when the season comes.
Now, you mentioned earlier on you're a fan of the Chicago Blackhawks. Your favorite players, Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane. Can you give us somebody or a few players even that you kind of model your game after? You talked about being a two-way player, go, go, go. I mean, you can obviously see a little bit of Kane there, a little bit of Toews in that. Are there players outside of that you've sort of modeled your game after or taken little pieces from?
I'm not sure. I like to say that I try to play like Taves, two-way forward, lots of nice skilled plays in the offensive zone, but just making sure that I'm taking care of the defensive zone before not leaving the zone early or something like that. Just making sure that I'm on the right side of the pocket all times and making some plays in the offensive zone.
Now, when we talk about that, last year with the Rockland Nationals in the under 18 loop, you had 9 goals, 28 assists, 37 points in 31 games. That is pretty darn impressive for a 15 going on 16-year-old in the U18 circuit. You were also better than point per game in a brief stint in the GTHL. Was it clear right from the beginning of the season that there were teams that were looking at you to come to the Ontario Hockey League?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't start getting calls until say halfway through the season, but I knew before the season started that it's going to be a big year for me, just to play my best game, show all the teams that I can play at the next level, and just to get as good as I can before this season started.
Is that last year playing against and what it can do for you playing against the competition in the under 18? But the success you had last year, is that something that you can build off of and transition to the Ontario Hockey League because you have that experience?
Yeah, definitely. I think it helps a lot. I'm looking forward to playing and getting some points with the team. I think I'll be ready.
We see it, Jonathan. Well, I want to let you have the floor here. I know there's a lot of Hamilton fans watching along. What do you want to say to Bulldogs fans about yourself and about the coming season?
Yeah, man. I really love the fans. I love seeing the fans in the crowds being happy and just yelling. I love loud noises when I play, so I'm excited to play in front of all of them.
Well, the story that I played on camera last week, I'll tell it to you. There was, and Will Bitton will know this one well because he was in on the goal. School day game a couple of years ago. Bitton flashes it across the front of the net. Strome bats it out of the air. They win it in overtime. It was so loud, over 9,000 kids in the building. It was so loud I couldn't hear right for 3 weeks. So when you come to Hamilton, you're coming to a big building, and when it gets full, it gets really loud. So as somebody that knows how to put points on the board, Jonathan, I think you're going to make a lot of people happy when you come to the Hamilton Bulldogs.
I love that. I'm excited to get there.
All right, Jonathan Mooney, thank you so much for your time. And while we've got you, I want to let you know that because I know you mentioned you've been watching along with some of the live episodes, and I teased this on Twitter earlier today, that coming up next Wednesday at 5 o'clock, 2018 OHL champion and now OHL scout Ryan Moore is going to join us for an edition of the alumni episodes. And Jonathan, obviously, there's another guy that just worked so hard every step of the way in the Ontario Hockey League to become a star player and scored one of the most important goals in Bulldogs history that young guys that have been building off of from his time here. So I'm sure one you'll be interested in as well.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching that one.
All right. Well, Jonathan Mooney, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure getting to know you, and we can't wait to have you here in Hamilton for the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to get there.
It's been another edition of Bulldogs Live. This is called Catching Up, but sort of in the introduction series. Jonathan Mooney, the second-round pick of the Bulldogs, will be in town before you know it. Thanks for tuning in. And again, catch us next Wednesday, 5 p.m., when we talk to Hamilton Bulldogs 2018 OHL champion, Ryan Moore.